Priestess and a holistic practitioner. I'm coming to you today this morning with a video in Nubia I's Raw Food Kitchen, and I'm going to come to you once a week with a new recipe. So I really thought about it today. I said if I wanted to focus on a simple process for people to make something, then what would that be if it was a raw food thing? And the first thing I thought of was milk, milk, milk. And when I say milk, I'm not talking about milk from the cow. I'm talking about milk from nuts and seeds. And so today I'm going to show you how to make some wonderful, simple sesame seed milk. But I do want you to know that you can use sesame seeds, almonds, macadamia nuts. You can use whatever you want. I really love almond milk. I think it's so much better than the stuff that's kept in a container in your grocer's freezer or even on the shelves. I don't think that that is a kind of almond milk that we're going to be eating in 2013. So we're going to do some sesame seed milk. So let's talk about sesames and almonds, why they're so important today. So the theme of today is calcium. Calcium, calcium. So many of us hear every day, particularly women, how much calcium we need. Calcium calms the nerves. Calcium helps you to be more grounded. Calcium actually helps you to get over adversity and to be firm in your thoughts, ideas. And calcium also for women, as I tell you, when we menstruate during our cycles, we lose 40% more calcium or 40% more calcium in our blood than any time of the month. So basically, our blood calcium is 40% higher with calcium than our regular blood. And that says a lot. So that means we're losing something. So how do we bring calcium back into our bodies? First, we go to the number one source. We go to green leafy vegetables like collard greens, every kale in all its varieties, Swiss chard. We couple that with some iron. We add some spinach or lettuce, asparagus, or parsley. And so, but we're going to do another delicious way of doing it, and so we're going to get to it. All right, y'all, you know that I'm going to teach while I talk because that's what I do, but also I just want you to get the picture, and so here we are. So this is, I made this milk yesterday. This is a delicious almond milk. I love this milk. What do I use it for? Everything, I guess, that you would use for milk. Me, it's cereal. I make a beautiful buckwheat cereal, and there's some wheat berries that I use, and I make a wonderful chia cereal, and my milk is the almond milk. So this was made yesterday with almond. Again, when I show you the recipe today, feel free to change the nuts to your choice. All right, so what I said, we're going to use sesame seeds. So you can get sesame seeds. Make sure they're organic. That's really important. And they're not sprayed with pesticides or herbicides. And what I did was I took about a cup of sesame seeds and I soaked it in water. So that's all I did. I just put water inside the jar. I closed the jar up. Right now I'm using a mason jar, top and lid. So what I did is just put the water in to cover. I do a little more, and I left it overnight right here on the counter, and it's great now. So now it's really ready to be made. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a mesh screen. Now I know you're asking me probably where did I get this? I'm going to show you a bigger one, and then we'll really. I got this from this. Okay, so I got this from this. So basically this is a mesh screen. You can get this at like an Ace Hardware or any hardware store, and it's inexpensive. You'll pay a few dollars and you get a big screen, and then you cut them to your size. So these are good for sprouting, which we're going to do in our next video, and also good for straining. And so this is what I do. I take this square piece and I open up my sesame seeds. I put it on the top. Take my time, and then I just use the lid on the top to close it back up. So, and you can get it on, that's right there. And what I'm going to do now is go to my sink, and we're going to rinse it. So this is how we do it. So people are going to ask questions. Does it matter if the water is warm or cold? Does it matter if the water is I know, and people may even question too. I mean, I would use that for using filtered water, so I think that's the best water to clean your sesame in or all your nuts. And also, you want to soak it in purified or filtered water. I think that would be best. And so basically what I'm doing is I just soaked and poured. So I just soaked it in the water, rinsed it in the water, and I poured. I'm going to do it a couple more times. So sesame seeds, again, high in calcium, wonderful over your cereals. You can use it in your smoothies. Ladies, you can even use it in place of milk when you're making other cooked foods as well. And I think what's important is this year in 2013, let's get the raw foods into our bodies as much as possible. And that more than focusing on trying to just be 100% raw. And so yeah, we're going to do these. I think things like milk, the milks that we make and the buckwheat cereals are so fortifying. And I'm telling you, you're going to absolutely love it. So I'm going to rinse it one more time. I like to do about 3 times. That's my thing. Numbers are important. 4 is the number of the angels. So you can rinse it 4 times, making sure that the angels is blessing your food. And so basically I'm just pouring it out. Now I want to thank all the people that asked me to do recipe videos because I think they're important. And we can also do something else with this milk once we create the milk, the sesame milk. And I'm going to show you what that is. We could sweeten this. Now, I'm going to warn you all now, sesame milk, it is an acquired taste. But once you start drinking it, you'll love it. And it won't taste as interesting as the almond. Almond milk from the beginning is just, to me, creamy and delicious. Could be my opinion. But anyway, one way to sweeten the milk is to use dates. And we'll talk about that a little later. All right, so these are ready. And what they're ready for is to go into the Vitamix blender, which I did not plug in. So I'm going to do that now. So this is what we do. We pour the seeds in. And in my raw food kitchen, I use my hands. You can use a spatula or whatever you want. But in the raw kitchen, it's nice to use raw utensils, even if they're your fingers. And just get your energy in there. And you know, what we're going for is getting all the seeds in there. So what I'm going to do is take approximately a cup of water and pour it into the rinsed seeds. And because I want to make as much seed milk as I possibly can, I'm going to, without it being too kind of watery, I'm going to pour another cup. So that's approximately 2 cups of water. Please, y'all, don't get so technical and don't get so thinking that it has to be a certain way, because it really doesn't. It has to be to your liking. So try different things. And then we're going to get the top, and which I would always keep here, but we're going to go over here and get the top. Yes, okay. So when you're doing the raw food commercial, have all your stuff together. Okay. Anyway, y'all know how we do it. This is real. This is live. So we're going to cut on the Vitamix. I'll put everything on high and let it go. Blender. I know these are questions you're going to ask me, so I should probably get those questions and answer them right now. Does it have to be in the Vitamix? No, of course not. I mean, is Vitamix one of the best blenders that I recommend? Yes, it's high powered, you know, a powerful motor. So yes, it definitely grinds and blends quickly. But you can use a regular blender, and you may have to blend a little longer. So I'm going to actually blend, because that's just me. I really like to get it fine. I'm going to blend for about less than 10 seconds more, and we're going to move on to the next. All right, my sisters and my brothers. So this is what's next. So what we now have is some beautiful milk. But we have some milk. If you look in there, if the camera can get that, it is definitely some gorgeous milk happening in there. I love the way this looks. Okay, but it smells interesting. It smells like sesame seeds. What we do now is, so what has happened is we basically we blended the seeds, but now we broke them down, but there is still pulp. And what we're doing is separating the milk from the pulp, and we're using what we call a nut bag. A nut bag can be found online for about $6, $7, $8. It's wonderful. I think they can call these sprout bags as well. I bought this for $8 at a raw food restaurant in California. This is one of my favorite bags. I love it. So what we're going to do, two things we want to make sure you have. You want to have a container or a bowl. Basically just something that catches the milk. Don't forget that before you put it in the bag, you want that. And you want to take the bag and you want to put it right over the bowl. And all you do, this is simple y'all, I'm not going to make it harder, is pour all of the milk into the bag and then gently draw the string. And for those who have ever milked a cow, I know people say this all the time, this is kind of reminiscent of that, but for those that haven't, it's really simple. All you do is gently, and I say gently because sometimes when we squeeze too hard, what's on top comes out of the bag, which is a lot of pulp. Believe me, because I made that mistake too many times. So we're just really gently squeezing. Now remember ladies, now what I can do after I squeeze out all of the milk from the sesame seed, I could then put it back in the blender with about 2 to 3 dates and it will be off the hook. So then, I mean, you can do like a cookie and milk thing or just sweet milk in your cereal. And I tell you, we love almond and sesame for our smoothies that we make. So, and definitely for the chia cereal, which is coming. Also, ladies, I want you to look for my new DVD that'll be out in less than a month. And actually, it's a DVD showing all the Nubia I Raw Food Kitchen, all the recipes, longer version, tidbits that I don't always share in the videos. And it'll be out in about a month. So, looking forward to that, as well as my movement classes coming soon. All right, ladies, so, and gentlemen, because I know you're watching, I basically squeeze it out. And so, what I want this to make, and I'm going to put this there, what I would like it to make is about 1/4 milk. So we'll see, but whatever it makes, I'm happy. So, now we take a quart jar, mason jar, which is my favorite kind of a utensil. I would say appliance because they work like that sometimes, but utensil. And we're going to pour the milk into the jar. So we didn't quite get a quart, but that's okay. Whatever we get, we are happy. And you have just made some delicious sesame seed milk that I absolutely love. It's raw. You can put it now in the refrigerator, or especially with the sesame seed and the almond, especially if you're transitioning. I would take, I keep looking over here, but I would take my dates, that's what I used to get my dates, and definitely put 2 or 3 dates back in the blender with the milk and make you some sweet and delicious milk. It's great for children. It's higher in calcium. Remember, calcium from seeds and leafy greens are more absorbable than calcium from milk or dairy. So always remember that. Anyway, see me again in the kitchen. This is Nubia I, the raw food goddess, the womb priestess, and the holistic practitioner, and we making